11:47, but let me be sure. Just give me a moment. Okay, it is verse 4. 11:4, and it's translated as will be. Okay? So, write these verses down. The word that you're checking is aeye, or I should go from right to left. Aeye, which has been translated I am, or I will be. Okay? This term is not and never has been used as a personal name. So all of these brothers and sisters out here teaching that's the actual name of the Most High, that is not true. That is just a misunderstanding. Okay? Because if you continue, now you go back to Exodus chapter 3, when we continue with verse 15, he tells us the name, and then we have other scriptures to verify the name. So in Exodus 3 and verse 15 it states, and Elohim said moreover unto Moshe, so he wasn't finished talking to him yet. There's a dialogue that's going on, so we need to see the rest of the conversation. Thus shalt thou say unto the sons of Israel, Yahweh, mighty one of your fathers, mighty one of Abraham, mighty one of Yitzchak, mighty one of Yaakov, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Emphasis, the fact that he says this is his name forever, and that he says this is his memorial. Now we're going to see two other passages that emphasize the fact that the name Yod, He, Waw, He, that tetragrammaton, is a memorial name. Now think about this. For all of these scholars and these intellectuals out there, these Hebrew grammarians who say that the true pronunciation of the Creator of the heavens and the earth has been lost, think about that. You mean to tell me that the Creator of the heavens and the earth, who put the sun and the moon and the stars in the heavens, can't even keep his name in the earth? Think about that. Truth be told, the pronunciation of the name was never lost. Take your mind back to Babylon and why they were called by that name, Babel. Think about it. Okay? But let's move on. In Psalms chapter 135 and verse 13, the scripture reads, Thy name, Yahweh, endureth forever, and thy memorial, Yahweh, throughout all generations. Okay? And in Hosea chapter 12 and verse 5, which reads, Even Yahweh, mighty one of hosts, Yahweh is his memorial. Now in each of these passages, the word memorial comes from number 2143. Let me get that on the board for you. Once again, give me a moment. The word translated as memorial is a term we had looked at before in another lesson. You have your Zion, you have your Kaf, and you have your Resh. The word is Zeker, number 2143. And what it means, a memento. Okay? Recollection. Okay? That's what the term means. All right. So now, to all my Bible believers out there, we have seen three separate passages that incorporate this word as a care, which is a memorial, memento, recollection, in connection to the divine name. What do they teach? Think about it. Do they teach the importance of the name? Now this is to all of the opponents of what they call the sacred name movement. And let me say this. Neither myself nor the members of the camp or congregation to which I belong have any affiliation with any sacred name movement. The name of the Creator of the heavens and the earth is what it is and has always been what it is. If there be any dissension or disagreement with that, then I just, once again, encourage you all to pray with sincerity and humility to come to the knowledge of His truth, not mine. Don't take my word for it. Okay? Now, the controversial question that's deceiving many people, how is it pronounced? Now, this takes us to this whole idea, this entrapment by the adversary, referred to now as its own separate denomination, sacred name movement. Let me read an excerpt for you. The sacred name movement is a religious movement which began in the late 1920s and early 1930s. It grew out of division within the Church of God Seventh Day. Many sacred name teachers believe and very vocally teach that unless one uses the Hebrew name and only the Hebrew name for God, he or she will be eternally damned. It should be noted that not all sacred name teachers are so dogmatic. While this exclusive view is taken by most sacred name teachers, they themselves do not know the original Hebrew pronunciation of God's name. With that, I beg to differ. They admit as much by the variety of names used within the movement and by individuals repeatedly changing the names they hold sacred. Now, with that being said, one of the things that does occur within the process of salvation, and when I say process, what that simply means is that salvation is done in steps. Many people out there falsely believe and are under the presumption that when you come into a particular way of life, that immediately a change is going to be made. And that immediately you're going to receive the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding, but that's not true. That's not even logical or reasonable according to man's standards. But what does take place once you begin the walk with the Most High, if I can just reference, there's a passage where a wise man once said that if you continue in the Word, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. But you have to continue. In other words, look at yourselves. When you were 10 years old, you didn't know the things that you acquired when you became 20 years old. And when you were 20 years old, you didn't know the things that you acquired when you became 30 years old. Because throughout those 10-year increments, you acquired more knowledge. And that's how the Most High has been revealing. We are, as another wise man wrote, coming out of her. In other words, the her is a reference to the false religions and the false teachings and doctrines of the world. So if you were a part of, and what you were walking in was a part of this false belief, as you come to the knowledge of the truth, you begin to remove those false teachings. And you become the way that the Creator intends you to become, and that is a righteous and a holy servant. But that comes with time. Okay? Now there's some errors that have been made when it comes to the divine name, which now gives rise to what they refer to as the sacred name movement. True, not every pronunciation you hear out there is the correct pronunciation. Question is, what is? I was talking to a few of my brothers one day. What we don't want to happen, and we're going to deal with this at another time in a later lesson. What we don't want to happen is that the true pronunciation of the name of the Creator of the heavens and the earth be based upon scholarship.